from MLW, really from WTF, let's face it, from World Titan Federation. He's going to be facing the MLW World Heavyweight Champion Alex Kane this Saturday at Kings of Colosseum. So one and only Richard Holliday joining us now. Good morning, Richard Holliday.
Gentlemen, good morning.
How are you
doing?
Good.
How you doing, Richard?
I'm doing great. Doing fantastic.
Gotta ask, what are you drinking coffee this morning? And if so, what kind?
I sure am. And I am going to do a shameless plug. I am drinking my own brand. I'm drinking Richard's Rarefied Roast, brought to you by Legal Speed Coffee Company. Just the best blend that you could possibly have, the best way to start your day.
I gotta ask, when you do those deals, like how much of your input is in on the coffee? And like how much are you taste testing? How much are you getting out there and being like, I like this or I don't like this? Like what's going on there?
A lot. Yeah, when we first did it, I made sure that like it was a blend that I really liked and like what I would like to order if I were to go out and go to a coffee shop. So they sent me like half a dozen blends and I did a whole rigorous taste test and I narrowed it down to the one that I liked the most.
Cool.
Let's get into it, Richard. Last time I saw you at WrestleCade, you did an interview with Sean Ross Sapp, which I don't think we were able to run because you were talking about your free agency, and we tried to get you to bury MLW, and you said kind things about MLW because you kept a great relationship with them. And then I think we had to put the interview on the back burner because you returned at the most recent MLW event, One Shot, and you joined the WTF, the World Titan Federation. How did the return come about, and what made you decide to go back to MLW?
Yeah, I mean, it was well documented that when, it was announced that I was done with MLW, that the leave was completely amicable and the door was 100% wide open. So if a door's open, I mean, why not walk through it? The time was right. Everything seemed to make sense. The World Titan Federation needed somebody who could take down Alex Kane, and I was the perfect person to do it. So on the 6th of January at Kings of Colosseum, you guys are interviewing the future MLW World Heavyweight Champion right now, current and present live time. In just a few days' times, I will have that gold around my waist and carry the banner of the WTF along with me.
So we have a thing here on this program. Almost everyone who joins us wins their match. So your odds are pretty good going into this match with Alex Kane. Speaking of your return to MLW, it's been about a year since you left and come back. What are the big changes you've noticed in MLW from when you left until you made your return?
From a company standpoint, I feel like it's kind of status quo and what I remembered, and everything is kind of the same in that sense. It's a much different roster. It's a much different roster than what I was used to. It's a lot of new talent. It's a lot of people who I'm familiarizing myself with, and a lot of people doing a lot of really great things, and that's awesome. I think the WTF though is kind of the focal point. That's what's been the driving force. That's what people are talking about. It's funny. It just seems like every time I'm a part of something, it just seems like the most talked about thing in MLW. It could be a trend. It could be happenstance or coincidence. I don't know. Am I slightly biased? Yes, but MLW is doing a lot of great things, and I would say from a change perspective, it's the roster. It's a much different roster than what I was used to a year and a half ago.
You want to talk about being the hottest thing in MLW? I mean, we have to bring up the Dynasty. In that point, people talk about the Dynasty as if, and it was the one of the best factions, certainly in MLW, but like even in like wrestling. And the Dynasty didn't last very long, but it's still put up there with some of the top factions. Like, what are your thoughts on still how people remember the Dynasty with you, Hammerstone, and MJF, and how it's still talked about to this day as being up there with like Evolution and stuff?
So this is my diagnosis of the Dynasty. We were like a rock band that released an LP and was never, put on like a huge platform for a long time. Like we released like this one LP or one album, whatever you want to call it, and it was a massive hit, and people just want more and more and more. And we never like released album after album after album, like these long tenured, kind of factions that you see, and people just like. They still listen to the music, if that makes any sense, right? Like they're still listening and they're like, man, like we want another album of this. And it just holds up, right? Like it's held up the test of time. I'm proud of what we did. It's awesome that people still talk about it.
I feel that so much as a musician. I understand that reference so hard. And I'm like, there are at least 20 bands I can think of off the top of my head that make perfect sense for that. Thank you. You mentioned the idea that almost like everything old is new again with MLW since your return. One return that is coming is Matt Riddle. He's going to be at Kings of Colosseum facing Jacob Fatu. My question for you is, would he be a fit for the World Titan Federation? Would you want him in a WTF setting?
The good thing is that I'm not in the recruitment department of the WTF. I leave that up to St. Laurent. He's a savvy businessman. If he feels like that's a great fit for WTF, then it must be a great fit for WTF. Obviously, a tremendous talent. So, we'll see what comes of that. I mean, it could be foreshadowing there. Who knows?
What was your experience like at GCW? Because I think when people think of Richard Holliday, I don't know if they think GCW right off the bat, but you had a really fun run there. I remember seeing you again at WrestleCade. You're not going through the door, but the doors were brought out and everything. But what was your experience like at GCW?
Hey, that run's not over. That run is not over. I am full-fledged there. GCW is great. Definitely one of the places to be for sure. And, I think that was kind of a cool thing about me coming to GCW was that, maybe it wasn't something that people predicted or people kind of pigeonholed me into and was like, hey, I don't know if you fit that mold. And it was like, okay, well, I can kind of flip that narrative and do some things that maybe you haven't seen and unlock a chamber inside of me that maybe you didn't know was there, or you did and you didn't think I was willing to tap into. So I'm having a wonderful time at GCW, which I don't know if wonderful and GCW is usually something that, people say in the same sentence, but I am. So, yeah, the run has been great. It's going strong, and there's a lot of more exciting things to come there for sure.
Game changer, wonderful. That's what they're called, right? It's not game changer wrestling. It's game changer wrestling. Wonderful. Actually, going to GCW, you had a GCW title match against Blake Christian early in that time frame. What was it like working with that champion who has continued on so far as GCW champion, Blake Christian?
Yeah, so to debut in the company in the championship match, that's one thing. That was like my fourth match back. So to get in the ring with the caliber of someone like Blake Christian, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's fantastic. That's why he's a GCW champion. That's why he's held it for so long. So, I would like to think that maybe if I had a little bit more of the rust knocked off heading into that matchup, maybe it would be a little bit different result. But listen, it is what it is. He's the champion, and to get in there and kind of introduce myself to the audience in that way, that was the perfect way to do it.
When it comes to WTF, circling back to them, I know Hammerstone is now a free agent, but there's Matt Cardona. He's there. Tom Lawler, Josh Bishop. How much have you talked with these guys and worked with these guys? And someone like Josh Bishop, who's really new to kind of television wrestling, but certainly has like the look of a guy who could be a top star. How much have you worked with these guys so far?
Yeah, he's a beast. I mean, obviously getting back at One Shot, that was my first time back with the company. So that was my first time back with WTF, but man, we're talking, we're always chatting. We're staying connected. We are a tight knit unit. We're taking this seriously because we're taking over the company and we're doing big, big things.
MLW announced that War Chamber is coming back March 29th, 2024. This is the big one. Let's say you get to make the match. You are the guy, the captain for Team WTF. Who's on your team and who do you face? Who does Richard Holliday really want to be opposite War Chamber with?
It doesn't really matter who we face because at the end of the day, it's going to be the WTF standing tall. If I got guys like Bishop and I got guys like Tom Lawler on my side, hell, even Zeta Steele, she's as tough as it gets, So as long as WTF is by my side and St. Laurent is picking the right people and prioritizing, the right recruits to get into WTF, man, it doesn't matter who's on the other side of us.
Hammerstone posted a picture after MJF got laid out by the new ROH champions. It was not you. It was not you and Hammerstone who laid out MJF, but he posted the pictures like, oh, it's good to see us three back together again. Did you see this? And what was your reaction to it if you did?
I did. I asked him if I was the taller one. In the yeah. Yeah, I mean, Hammerstone likes to have some fun on social media, and it's like, if I could chime in on the fun, why not?
Okay, speaking of fun, Matt Stryker, guy who's around MLW. He's one of the announcers, the analysts. Would you rather face Matt Striker again, or would you rather have to sit beside him on commentary?
I'd rather sit beside him and talk baseball for 2 days straight. No, love Matt Striker. I think he does an excellent job on commentary, and he's a great guy and he's a great asset to the company. And I'm happy he's there calling the action.
I have read, you can correct this rumor if it is false. I've read that you are a Swiftie. Is this true or false?
Oh, totally true. 100% true.
All right. Favorite era? What's the Richard Holliday era?
Whatever album Blank Space is on.
Okay. Oh, now my Swiftie knowledge is being tested here. I'm pretty sure Blank Space is 1989. Now I got to look that up, and people are gonna be very mad at me if I'm wrong.
I think it's 1989. Yeah, that's the best song. That's the best song. So
fair.
Everything she does is great. I'm willing to pay $2,000 to go to a concert.
Yeah, that's exactly how much it costs as well. You got that money though. I remember I interviewed you, so I told you this at WrestleCade. You were my first interview on Fightful, and I always appreciate it. You're very generous with your time, and this was when I assume you still have your dad's boat, still going out there on the yacht and everything, having the AirPods and stuff. But you were always very generous to me, and I appreciated that. So I don't know if you're still having the dad's money now. You got your own money to pay for the Taylor Swift.
There's just money, man. There's just a lot of flowing money, whether it's inherited or earned, whatever the case may be, it's all worth the same, right? So, but I appreciate the words, man. I mean, that's cool that I was the first interview, and now here we are again, kind of full circle in it.
Yes, yeah, I appreciate it.
We have a little game that we like to play here on In the Weeds. It's called Partner, Promo, or Punch in the Face. You're going to have 3 different wrestlers that I present to you, and you're going to pick which one you partner with in a tag team match, which one you have a promo off with in the ring, and which one you punch in the face because you're going to have a singles match with them. This is WTF edition. Matt Cardona, Filthy Tom Lawler, Joshua Bishop, Richard Holliday, partner, promo, punch in the face.
Oh, man. Okay. So now partner means that they're my tag partner. Punch in the face means I'm gonna have to wrestle them in the ring.
You got it.
All right, I'm gonna partner up with Tom Lawler.
Okay.
Because I'm not punching that man in the face. I'm gonna promo up with I'm gonna partner up with Tom. I'm gonna have to punch Cardona in the face, and I'll promo off with Josh Bishop.
Oh, you're setting yourself up for success. I get it.
Yeah, I'm always thinking I'm putting myself first in this situation. And thinking of the best results, therefore.
As he should.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to punch Tom Lawler or Josh Bishop. I wouldn't punch Josh Bishop either. That guy hits very hard.
Yeah, he's a lunatic.
Yeah. You don't want to get on his bad side at all. Tell us about Alex Kane. I don't know how much you kept tabs on MLW while you're away, but Alex Kane's rise has certainly been one of the big focal points on there. What are you expecting from Alex Kane this Saturday?
So it's interesting, my analysis of Alex Kane, because I left and he took over, right? He won the heavyweight championship from Hammerstone. And I think that he's a really good wrestler. Like, he is credible. He is deserving of the championship. He gets in the ring and bell to bell. That dude could bring it 100%. So I'm not looking at this match like it's going to be a cakewalk, or looking at this match like it's going to just be, the bell rings, I win, the bell rings, I leave. I mean, it's not what I think it's going to be. But then I take a look at him as an individual and as a person, and I just think he's so cringy, and I just think that he's like lame, if that makes sense. Like, I just take a look at his Twitter and like his social media, and he just seems, kind of artificial to me, and doesn't seem like a lot of his stuff is original or genuine. And, to me, it's just, I've had enough of that. Like, I think that the fan base of MLW has had enough of that as well. And, someone like me who has put so much into that company, so much into MLW, with this run going on right now, I mean, it's accumulated of over 5 years at Major League Wrestling. One of the pillars, one of the Mount Rushmores of Major League Wrestling. And, it's time to take that championship from him, shut him up, humble him a little bit, and let him learn from someone like me. Especially from a marketing standpoint, you got to learn, my friend, because you got all the tools in the ring, but outside of the ring, you got to go back to school, my friend. Get the notepad out.
Richard, my last one for you. You returned at MLW, one shot. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it or let it slip?
Well, I would capture it because it's happening this Saturday, the 6th, at MLW live on Fight TV, presented by Triller, or Thriller, whatever it is. And, this is the moment. This is the time. This is years in the making. This is the most clear-headed, able-bodied I have ever been walking into an MLW ring. And I don't think Alex understands that. I think that he just looks at me returning as like a pop in a moment and, just something to, spike the ratings for MLW. It's not. This is a very real threat, and his championship is on the line. I'm going to take it. So he better understand that.
You heard it from Mr. Most Marketable himself, Richard Holliday. He faces Alex Kane this Saturday, January 6th, live on Triller TV at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. It's MLW Kings of Colosseum. Check it out. Richard, before you head out of here, you want to plug anything else?
Guys, I want to make sure that people tune in on Fight TV to MLW Kings of Colosseum. That's first and foremost. And then, while you're at it, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Most Marketable. Buy my coffee. And then that's all you really have to do.
There you go. Richard Holliday, thank you so much. Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Richard.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.